In Tomorrow Today, we are often asked, what exactly is a futurist? I remember an immigration official at Heathrow, for whatever reason, very grumpy, and I'd handed in my landing card when you needed to do those things still. And on the landing card under occupation, I put futurist, and his brow creased. He started frowning, and he looked up at me with this exasperated look on his face, and he says, "What nonsense is this, futurist? What do you do?" And I started to explain what I do, and he interrupted me after about 5 seconds and said, "You're a consultant. Next time, just write down consultant, make my life easier and your life a whole lot simpler." And I said to him, "But sir, if I write down consultant and you do your job, what's going to be the first question you ask me? What do you consult on?" I'll say futures, and we're back to square one. But in describing ourselves as futurist, all that means is simply this. A futurist is somebody who intentionally builds the capacity to see and understand the implications and meaning of change. Let me say that again. Intentionally builds the capacity to see and understand the implications and meaning of change. I think given that definition, all leaders should be futurists. Let me close with one quick story. I was walking my 5-year-old grandson to school in the States recently, and he said to me, "Pops, what do you do? And how do you explain a futurist to a 5-year-old?" And I thought a little bit, and I said, "Well, Colin, what I do is I work very hard to try and understand what tomorrow is going to look like so that we can get ready for it today." And I thought, that's a pretty good job. And we walked in silence for a few more paces, and he looked up at me and said, "So, Pops, you're just like a weatherman." And I think that's probably how I'll describe myself going forward. When somebody says, "What do you do?" instead of the complication of saying a futurist, I'll simply say, "I'm a weatherman." But in all seriousness, I do think that leaders today need to think of themselves as futurists, people who intentionally build the capacity to see and understand the implications and meaning of change.